and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt.
At 84, Nancy Guthrie has lived a life that many would describe as quiet, private, and reserved, but beneath the calm exterior lies a story full of surprises, hidden truths, and revelations that no one expected. For decades, she carefully guarded parts of her life, keeping personal struggles, unexpected choices, and untold stories out of the public eye. And now, at 84, those secrets are finally coming to light. For most of her adult life, Nancy was seen as a devoted mother, a supportive family member, and a respected figure in her community. People admired her, but very few knew the challenges she faced behind closed doors. There were moments of heartbreak, difficult decisions, and private battles that shaped the person she became. The life she projected to the world was only part of the story. The rest remained hidden, locked away for decades. In recent interviews and exclusive statements, Nancy has begun opening up in ways that shock many who thought they knew her. Some of her revelations touch on her family, her personal ambitions, and moments that changed her life forever. These are details that, until now, no one had heard, and they paint a side of Nancy Guthrie that few could imagine. At 84, she is not just reflecting on her past, she is rewriting the narrative of her life. The truths she shares now are surprising, emotional, and at times, almost unbelievable. People are hearing for the first time what she endured, what she hid, and what finally compelled her to speak. This is a story of secrets kept for decades, of courage in revealing the hidden truths, and of a woman who, even in her 80s, is taking control of her story. At 84, Nancy Guthrie's life is far more complicated than anyone could have guessed. Outwardly, she appeared as a devoted mother, a supportive family figure, and a woman who handled life with poise. To the public, she seemed calm, organized, and private, someone whose life was straightforward and uneventful. But the reality is far different. For more than 3 decades, Nancy carried secrets, personal struggles, and experiences that she never revealed to anyone outside her inner circle. These were moments that shaped her character, challenged her resilience, and defined the person she became. From her early years, Nancy learned the importance of discretion. Growing up, family pressures and societal expectations created a world where one's private life had to be carefully managed. Every choice had consequences, and every mistake could lead to judgment or misunderstanding. She quickly realized that maintaining control over her own story was essential. As she grew older, these lessons translated into a life of quiet determination, careful planning, and selective sharing. Nancy's adult life reflected this delicate balance. She was deeply committed to her family, taking on multiple roles: caretaker, advisor, and confidant. She ensured that everyone around her felt supported, loved, and guided, while simultaneously managing the hidden burdens that most people never saw. Behind closed doors, she confronted difficult decisions, personal challenges, and moments of intense emotional struggle. Some choices were unconventional, some unexpected, and others could have been controversial if revealed at the time. Yet, Nancy acted according to her principles, always keeping her family's well-being in mind. For decades, very few people truly knew the full extent of her life. Friends and acquaintances admired her, but they only saw what she allowed them to see. Even close family members were often unaware of the private struggles she endured, the sacrifices she made, and the moments she quietly overcame. It wasn't secrecy for the sake of secrecy. It was a form of protection, a way to control her own narrative and shield loved ones from unnecessary worry. Now, at 84, Nancy has begun to share these long-hidden truths. She reflects openly on the challenges she faced, the choices that changed her life, and the victories achieved without recognition. Some of these revelations are shocking, exposing facets of her character and history that few could have anticipated. They show a woman who lived a life full of complexity, courage, and quiet resilience, navigating a world that demanded discretion and strength. Her story demonstrates that people are often far more than they appear. The calm exterior, the poised demeanor, and the private life that seemed ordinary were only part of the picture. Behind it was a woman who endured hardships, made tough decisions, and safeguarded her family while maintaining her own sense of self. For those hearing her story for the first time, the revelations are as emotional as they are astonishing. At 84, Nancy Guthrie is not just recounting her past, she is reclaiming her narrative. She is sharing the side of her life that remained hidden for decades, revealing the sacrifices, the secrets, and the strength that defined her. It is a story of endurance, of courage, and of a life lived fully but carefully guarded, a story that is finally coming to light for the world to see. For over 30 years, Nancy Guthrie lived a life full of hidden truths that few could have imagined. While the outside world saw a devoted mother and a woman of quiet dignity, the reality was far more complex. There were decisions made in private, struggles endured silently, and moments of her life that remained completely unknown until now. Some of these secrets challenge everything people thought they knew about her, revealing a side of Nancy that is both shocking and deeply human. One of the most surprising aspects of her life involves the choices she made to protect her family. For decades, she faced situations that could have caused conflict, embarrassment, or public scrutiny. Instead of allowing these moments to become widely known, she managed them carefully, often taking personal responsibility and enduring stress alone to shield her loved ones. There were times when she had to make difficult sacrifices, prioritizing the well-being of others over her own comfort or recognition. These decisions, invisible to most, demonstrate a resilience and strength that few outsiders could truly appreciate. Nancy also revealed experiences that challenged her sense of identity and independence. There were opportunities she passed on, paths she didn't take, and compromises she made that changed the trajectory of her life. Some of these choices were motivated by necessity, while others were driven by intuition and foresight. They were decisions that required courage, because the consequences could have been irreversible. What surprises many is how she navigated these moments with grace, maintaining her composure while keeping her personal struggles largely hidden. Relationships in her life were another source of hidden complexity. Nancy spoke candidly about moments of tension, misunderstanding, and even estrangement. These were times when she felt isolated despite being surrounded by people, moments that tested her emotional endurance. Yet, through it all, she maintained her role as a guiding presence for her family, demonstrating that strength is not always loud or visible. Sometimes it is quiet, steady, and deeply internalized. Perhaps the most astonishing revelations involve her personal ambitions and the way she quietly pursued them. While she was devoted to her family and social responsibilities, Nancy also cultivated personal goals that required careful balancing and strategic decision-making. Many of these ambitions were never publicized, and for decades, she succeeded behind the scenes, achieving milestones without seeking recognition or praise. These untold achievements reveal a woman who was quietly building her own legacy, even while ensuring that her family's needs came first. Her story is also a reflection on secrecy and timing. Nancy understood that some truths are only safe to share after a certain period, when the world and the people around you are ready to understand them. By waiting decades, she ensured that the revelations would be received thoughtfully, without unnecessary disruption. This patience, combined with her insight and emotional intelligence, allowed her to maintain control over her narrative while eventually allowing the truth to emerge. At 84, Nancy Guthrie's life is a testament to resilience, courage, and strategic discretion. The secrets she held for decades were never meant to harm anyone. They were carefully managed aspects of a life lived fully but cautiously. Now, by revealing them, she provides a rare glimpse into the depth of her experiences, showing how a seemingly ordinary life can contain extraordinary stories of perseverance, sacrifice, and quiet triumph. Her revelations remind everyone that people are rarely what they seem on the surface. There is often a hidden strength, a private courage, and a series of untold decisions that shape a person far more than what is visible to the world. For those hearing Nancy's story for the first time, the shock comes not just from the secrets themselves, but from realizing the magnitude of her endurance and the wisdom she carried silently for decades. Even after decades of maintaining a composed public image, Nancy Guthrie endured personal struggles that few ever knew about. Life had its share of unexpected challenges, moments that tested her emotionally, mentally, and even physically. While she appeared calm and collected to those around her, beneath the surface she often faced uncertainty, disappointment, and inner conflict. These experiences shaped her resilience, teaching her the importance of patience, self-reliance, and careful decision-making. Family dynamics were a significant part of these struggles. Nancy devoted much of her life to supporting her loved ones, often putting their needs above her own. This devotion came with sacrifices. There were moments when she had to navigate tension, misunderstandings, and difficult choices that could have had long-lasting consequences. Balancing her responsibilities while protecting her family from emotional turmoil required extraordinary patience and emotional strength. For decades, she bore these burdens silently, revealing little to anyone outside her inner circle. Health challenges also played a role in her private battles. Aging brought unexpected limitations, and she faced physical and emotional hurdles that made daily life more demanding. Yet, Nancy approached these obstacles with the same discipline and determination that had guided her throughout life. Rather than allowing these difficulties to define her, she used them as opportunities to demonstrate resilience, manage adversity, and maintain control over her circumstances. Social pressures added another layer of complexity. In a world where appearances often dictate perception, Nancy had to carefully manage how she was seen. She lived in an environment where judgment was frequent and privacy was scarce, making it essential to carefully navigate every interaction. Many of her decisions, from career choices to personal relationships, were influenced by this need for discretion. Maintaining composure under these pressures required a deep understanding of human behavior, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking. Despite these struggles, Nancy never allowed hardship to prevent her from pursuing personal fulfillment. She found moments of quiet strength in small achievements, private victories, and personal growth. These moments often went unnoticed by the outside world, but they provided a foundation for her resilience and allowed her to face larger challenges with confidence. Her ability to endure and thrive despite adversity is a testament to her inner fortitude. At 84, the cumulative effect of these experiences, family responsibilities, health challenges, societal pressures, and personal sacrifices, paints a picture of a life lived fully but cautiously. The emotional battles she faced, many invisible to those around her, are now being shared for the first time, revealing the depth of her strength and the complexity of her journey. For those hearing Nancy's story now, the revelation is both inspiring and shocking. It shows that even a life that appears calm and ordinary on the surface can contain immense struggle, courage, and perseverance. Her story is a reminder that people often endure far more than is visible, carrying private battles with dignity, resilience, and quiet determination. By opening up about her emotional journey, Nancy Guthrie not only provides insight into her own life, but also offers a powerful example of how strength, patience, and discretion can shape a remarkable life. Even in her 80s, she continues to redefine what it means to live fully, revealing that courage is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, deliberate, and enduring. At 84, Nancy Guthrie's revelations are more than just shocking stories. They are a reflection of a life carefully navigated through decades of challenges, sacrifices, and private victories. The secrets she kept for so long were never meant to harm anyone. They were deliberate choices to protect her family, preserve relationships, and maintain control over her own narrative. Now, as she shares these truths, the impact resonates not only with those who know her but also with anyone who hears her story. The revelations have prompted a reevaluation of how people perceive Nancy. Those who assumed they knew her are confronted with the depth of her experiences, the difficult decisions she made, the moments she endured alone, and the courage it took to keep going despite uncertainty. Her life is a testament to resilience, illustrating that strength often comes in quiet, deliberate actions rather than grand gestures. Each secret she revealed adds another layer of understanding to the woman she is: thoughtful, resilient, and remarkably strategic in how she lived her life. Family has been at the center of her decisions throughout her life. The luxury of privacy, the careful management of emotional risks, and the sacrifices she made all reflect a deep commitment to protecting those she loves. By keeping certain truths hidden for decades, she created a safe space where her family could grow and thrive without unnecessary disruption. And now, by sharing her story, she provides them, and the world, with a clearer understanding of her journey and the strength it required. The impact of her revelations goes beyond immediate family or friends. They serve as a reminder to everyone that what is visible is rarely the full story. People often carry burdens, make sacrifices, and navigate challenges that remain unseen. Nancy's life illustrates that true resilience is often invisible, and the most significant victories are not always celebrated publicly, but felt privately, in the hearts of those who understand the journey. Reflecting on decades of secrecy and discretion, Nancy emphasizes that her decisions were guided by a desire for control, safety, and stability. The courage to live authentically, even when constrained by circumstances or societal expectations, is a central theme in her story. By speaking openly at 84, she reclaims her narrative, transforming decades of hidden experiences into lessons of resilience and wisdom. Her story also highlights the importance of timing. Many truths are only safe to share after years of preparation, reflection, and careful judgment. By waiting, Nancy ensured that her revelations would be meaningful and respectful, creating an opportunity for others to appreciate the depth of her life without causing unnecessary harm or conflict. Ultimately, Nancy Guthrie's life is a powerful lesson in endurance, strategy, and quiet courage. At 84, she has demonstrated that strength is not only about overcoming visible obstacles, but also about navigating unseen ones with integrity and discretion. Her secrets, once hidden, now illuminate a path of resilience and reflection, offering insight into the complexities of human experience. For those who hear her story today, the message is clear. A life lived fully often includes hidden struggles, carefully managed choices, and private triumphs. Nancy Guthrie's courage to finally share her story reminds everyone that even in silence, a person can lead a remarkable life, one defined not just by what is seen, but by the strength and wisdom cultivated behind the scenes.